In the summer of 1945, Japan refused to surrender, despite the Allies' victory in Europe and the Pacific. With tens of thousands of lives at stake, American officials made the fateful decision to use the atomic bombs developed through the secretive Manhattan Project. On August 6, 1945, the world changed forever when an American B-29 superfortress dropped the first-ever nuclear weapon of mass destruction, a device that became known as Little Boy over the Japanese city of Hiroshima. A second bomb followed 3 days later. Fat Man was dropped over Nagasaki, killing an estimated 40,000 people. The combined death toll of the two bombings would eventually reach 200,000. Historians continued to debate whether the bombings were necessary to end the war and prevent further loss of life. He recalled the words of the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." J. Robert O. Birth, a physicist who worked on the Manhattan Project, later said, "It was a terrible thing to have unleashed. Such a devil in the world. It has shaken me up considerably." Others argue that the bombings were a war crime and that the United States should have been held accountable for the devastating humanitarian cost. We must also reflect on the lessons of the past and work towards a future free from nuclear weapons. Among them was 16-year-old Toshiko Sasaki, who was shopping with her friend when the bomb exploded above her, including a timeline of the events leading up to the bombings, profiles of the key figures involved, and a photo gallery of the devastation that ensued. She survived the initial blast, but died of radiation sickness a month later. 3 days later, on August 9th, another B-29 dropped Fat Man on Nagasaki. Together, these two bombings claimed more than 200,000 lives. Let us show you the most destructive and deadly weapon ever created. As the Enola Gay, the aircraft that dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima, approached its target, the U.S. military prepared for action. On board was the 6-man crew, along with the pilot's wife and a photographer whose mission was to capture the moment. At 8:15 a.m., Little Boy was released. Moments later, the 62-year-old Japanese city was obliterated by a bright flash that could be seen 60 miles away. An estimated 80,000 people were vaporized instantly. Those who survived suffered horrific burns and radiation sickness. Many died within a few weeks. In the aftermath, a mushroom cloud rose above Hiroshima, marking the first time in history that a nuclear weapon had been used in warfare. The bombings caught many Japanese leaders off guard, including Emperor Hirohito. Some U.S. officials had hoped that one bomb would be enough to force Japan's surrender, but it soon became clear that this would not be the case. On August 15, 1945, 6 days after the second bombing, Japan surrendered unconditionally to the Allies, officially ending World War II today. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki remain a controversial topic. When Robert Oppenheimer, the man who led the development of the atomic bomb, learned of the devastation he had caused, he was horrified. As the world commemorates the 75th anniversary of the bombings, we must remember the victims and survivors and honor the memory of those who perished.